Hi, Leos, and welcome to April 2025. How did we get here? Please tell me. It's like every time I'm decorating my home for Halloween, I can remember now it's Easter. What? All right, let's go. This read is for, especially, and it's all in the planets. I mean, of course, right? We have the eclipses, lunar and solar. We have the retrogrades of Venus and Mercury. Mercury gets a bad rap, don't they? Poor Mercury. Always getting a bad rap. But it truly helps for us, for all of us, to listen more than we talk. That's how I feel for the signs that are always, whatever a sign is in retrograde, for me, I see it as really a mere blessing of being more aware, conscious awareness of what people are saying and or doing, being a witness. Okay, let's get started. This read is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. I added this to the fold because I like this Wisdom of the Oracle as the present moment and the past life oracle as how does it tie into our karmic thread. So I also can't find my cards when I moved. So what can I say? Whoops. These cards are hard to manage. Hold on. Okay, let's go. What do we have here for Leo? Observer. Oh, just witness. Being the witness right now is probably the best thing to do, right? Kind of like on the sidelines, watching what people do, watching what people say, and not really necessarily getting that involved per se. 49 comes down to a 13, and that comes down to a 4. So this could be all about your home within and also in your home in general, right? The people that are near and dear to your heart is your home. So be observant. How do things unfold right in front of your eyes, I hear? Okay, so let's see the past life oracle for Leos. Unrequited love. Oh my God. Wow. Observe the love of people in your circle. Peace. There is, it could be a significant other that you are with or you have been with, that it kind of, the relationship tested your love. Meaning, do I really love this person or don't I? Am I going through a soulmate relationship, or should I branch out and find that love doesn't, so many people, which is true, have said, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, love you, love you, love you, and really, they don't show it. Past loves, whatever, right? They say it, but they don't mean it. We need to observe. Observing, being the witness in your life, listening more, doing less is really a good thing right now, at least up until some of the planets go direct, especially with Venus and Mercury. It's time to really, I don't know, I heard go back in time. I don't know why. Let's just see. All right. We have the Knight of Swords. Something has been launched, realized. Wow. All right. Some of you, there's some information that's coming in quick. It's like quick. heard lickety split. Ooh, that could be a split that happened quick. You may find out, okay, that's what I heard. You may find out through the grapevine, let's say, that there's a split that happened between two people that either you've known them or you don't talk to them anymore, but you just get some insight, some intel, should we say. Yeah. You get intel that someone split up like quick. It was a quick end. Wow. Yep, it was a quick end. Someone just split up with someone. It was quick. Lickety split. Wow, right? We have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And of course, I have to question why the 3 is there, but let's see. Let me just ask what the 3 of Pentacles is doing there. Oh, that's who had to go. The person that I can't say it now, lickety split, left. A relationship ended because what probably, we're going to go into it deeper, obviously, is that someone realized truly that emotionally someone wasn't really ready to give it their all, And of course, it's easier to walk away, but it was also toxic, or it's a third-party toxic. Let's see, the 3 of Pentacles and the Devil reverse for Leos. What's going on? Oh, okay. So I have gotten a lot of reads in the last at least 6 months, I'd say, for Leos having Leo Virgo cusp. You are a Leo sun, maybe Virgo moon. I have gotten that a lot with, here we have Virgo, perhaps moon, or Taurus, Capricorn, okay? If you were dealing with a third party, if it is a third person, let's say, and I'm going to get to it right now, but someone did walk away, okay? And it took a long time to realize something. Let's see what someone was really feeling about that. Oh, look at 3 of Cups. Okay. So, I feel someone really did walk away. It took a while, or you spent a long relationship. You've had a long relationship with someone that finally what came to light was, were they really as open and wanting emotional fulfillment? Because this is really deep emotions here. Look, these are deep emotions. You may still harbor, and I have said this before, Leos, you may have harbored some really deep, still a little wounding over an ex. And here's Virgo, okay? Yeah, look. Someone could be coming back around whom the doggies are playing. You may have doggies that are playing, or animals. Anyway, and watching, observing the animals around you tells you everything about what's going on around you in general. I feel that it could have been, right? It can be someone, not necessarily a third party, but I do feel that someone is kind of observant of their past and the things that they did in their past. So I'm going to say that, let's just say, because I've said this before in your reads, someone drinks a lot and you lost a marriage or a love because of an alcohol issue. And then this person now is no longer drinking. Your ex may be no longer drinking, but you lost the relationship with them. And you're reflecting upon the loss and how, you know, things happen for a reason, and things happen also in divine timing for a reason, right? It's almost as if I feel you kind of are questioning the timing of the divine as to when someone walked out of your life because of an addiction. And it wasn't necessarily a third party. I do feel, and I've had it so many times with Leos, the cups they're all over the place. You have, you do have the 3 of Cups with the 8 of Cups. I mean, are you kidding me? And that's 3 of Cups came as a warning to someone. And it came consistently. It was consistent. And oh yeah, it is. It's about an ex. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You are possibly reminiscing about if you were in a relationship, Leos, with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Hold on. And they were, look at this. Oh my God. Hold on. They were your person. Oh my God. And you know it. And you know it. Whomever this, oh my gosh, look. Wow. So you had the world at your fingertips, is what Spirit's saying. And you were happily married, whatever, living together with this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They were the one. And the drinking got in the way of this marriage and or union that was really so happy. And there could be kids involved. We have Leo, Aries, Sag, and or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And that Gemini, Libra, Aquarius had to set themselves free. Because time and time again, the conversation was about, you know, the toxicity of the addiction. Knowing it's an addiction, that's why it took so long for that person to leave. And as difficult as it was, that's what happened. And in your subconsciousness, it creeps up every now and then about how that hurt. Okay. I'm going to say it. Sometimes you reach out to them because you probably have a good rapport, relationship with them. And sometimes you worry if, you know, you were following the guidance of Spirit. Maybe you worry about that person, you know, not getting hurt or cheated on, or, you know, it's like you hold back. You do. You kind of hold back how much, like, you worry about them or you think about them, so that, I mean, if you're in another relationship, you don't, you know, when you're alone, you think about this person and they think about you. And here's Gemini. So, you know, you could, I think I said this actually, that if you paired up from a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, say, to a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because this is leading up to where you're at right here. Yeah. Your feelings for this person probably will never change, but you do think about them and worry about what they're doing and how they're doing, even though they're not in your life right now. it was a severing of ties because of the drinking. And you ended up, Leo, some of you ended up with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, which I've had before. And let me tell you right now, the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Leo, knows how you... No, they don't know how you feel about this person, but they have an inkling. That's what they said. An inkling. Sometimes maybe just a smidge of, not a conversation, but that Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is pretty intuitive about how you feel. I'm just, we're just going with the flow here with the vice versa deck. So there are times in your life where, you do, Leo, think about what has left your life. And this person was significant in your life. They could baby mama for sure with 2 children. Okay? They left. And they probably live at a distance from you, but you have made amends. And probably feel as if there's still some healing to be done. And that's a lot of work also here. They're bringing me back to this. Because if you are the father and or the mother, I feel it's a mother and or father that left the addiction behind or is trying, still in rehab or goes to AA or whatever. And it's a struggle. So on top of the struggle of needing to, release the addiction of alcohol, let's say, because there's so many cups, I feel that, I do, that you in another lifetime left this person or they left you once again. Maybe they had their own addictions, etc. But this person came into your life and you married them or you lived with them and you had kids with them only to be observant of whether or not, and I'm going to say it, don't get upset, Leos, but I feel the question of how much love do you really have for a person and or more importantly yourself, to let go of the addiction and or to be let go of an addiction. And that person lives at a distance and you have had several chances at, you may not talk to them, but you hear about their lives and what they're going through. And for some, it makes you sad because you know how much love you have for them. But, it's kind of like someone will always be your eternal flame. I didn't say twin flame. Someone will always have a place. Zeus, someone will always have a place in your heart. Look at Virgo's reversed. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo's reversed. So it has come to your attention by how you value yourself. So when we value ourselves, we lead a path of purification, responsibility, accountability, honorability. And it's not like you haven't been, and it's not like they haven't been, but you have to be true to yourself. And part of your truth, if you are dealing with any kind of addiction, let's just say it's not alcohol. It's not going to be all alcohol for all Leos across the board. But I have had alcohol as an issue with you guys for a while. And trying to get sober and get help is what you have been doing. And you have not just been, you've realized now, and you have also, Leos, you have observed yourself in how the alcohol may change your your attitude, you know, because alcohol sometimes changes how we, you know, our attitude about love, about life, about those we've lost, and those who have walked out of our lives because of it. Any addiction, quite frankly. And how once you put value in your life and you make yourself back, getting back to this unrequited love comes from your past life of spirit saying, okay, you've been dealing with this in your lineage for a while, whatever addiction that is, okay? And being the observer in this lifetime of those people that you have loved and lost because you didn't love yourself enough to hold on to some of those people that walked away because you didn't realize that it was an issue. Many alcoholics tell you, I'm not an alcoholic, and that's the first sign of an alcoholic. But now you're getting help and you're now valuing yourself. And now the whole trajectory changes in your life, and now you're looking back saying, shit, I had that 2 of Cups. I'm not saying that you're not in love with the person maybe that you're with, or if you aren't with anyone, whatever. All I'm saying is you did not value yourself at that time. So there was issues of, you know, trusting that you were going to be loyal to yourself. And that's why this came out with it. You didn't trust yourself with that kind of, you know, it's hard. Like, you know, what is it? 3 steps forward, or 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So that's why you're reversed, because it really confined you. This addiction, or whatever addiction you've been dealing with, Leo, has really confined your ability to open your heart to a place of observing yourself and realizing how it affected others. And now you are able to observe that. And you have been left alone to on your own, to think about the things that are near and dear, and the people near and dear to your heart that have left. You could have actually, they're saying, oh God, the plot thickens, right? You could have lost one or more in marriage with kids. You could have 4 kids. But you lost the battle. And it's the best part, truly, Leos. The best part is that you're able to see it now a lot differently than you did, whatever, perhaps 10 years ago. And probably, yeah, you have to be the strong one now, or you are the lion, so you were really proud. You have always been the proud one, but you also were criticized. You have been judged and criticized by family members because of this addiction, or outsiders, those who have left. You've even had co-workers or peers in business. This applies as well, to have lost friendships because, let me just say, I'm hearing you had a friend. Let's just say you were working at, you're a CEO working at a big organization, whatever, and you're out partying it up with clients on, business meetings, right? And your peer who's on the same level as you is not attending those dinners, etc., because they came clean, and now you have nothing in common with that person and or people. And that's what happens. People fall by the wayside. People leave your life because they're no longer seeing, they don't have anything in common with you. They don't see anything in common with you. So it didn't just happen in your personal life, but Leo, it also happened in your career. And so, you've had to bury the hatchet on probably some substantial relationships and or, the company you keep. Work partners, close work partners that, you didn't want to tell them that you too had an alcohol problem like they did. It was like, I'm avoiding that convo. I'm avoiding this like the plague. I'm not telling anyone. Even if you thought you had a problem or your family does, you are not going to fess up. And here's the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius again. This person, you were very happy with this person. They were your strength. And walking away and dealing with it hasn't been easy. And it's not like they know, just saying, they know how you feel about them. It's probably reciprocal, for sure. But they had to do the best thing that they could, and that was to leave. Mother of your children, maybe one or more mothers, right? Because it came to be too difficult for, like, Spirit has been trying to heed the call, by giving you several chances at relationships and co-workers that you've lost during the course of your lifetime, where, you were not able, or they were not able to stick around, And what is the saying? Oh, that's why they want me to go back and say, wow, where was it? It was the, hold on. It was the, hold on. Did I just pass it? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And what an ironic, how ironic to say that, but, God has a sense of humor for sure. So, you can lead a horse to, it was reversed, correct. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And that's what this person, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, was trying to help you with. It is very specific. I mean, I'm not going to, you didn't want it to end, but the fights continued, and the fights came as conversations, not like all out fighting, The fights were more like you telling that Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and or whomever, listen, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Let me, give me another chance. I won't drink from Monday to Friday, or Monday to Thursday, and Friday came around and they were drinking, and you're like, or let's just say, yeah, the convo went like, I promise I won't drink from on the week, during the week, right? And Friday came and there was the beer in their hand or something like that. And, you know, it was like, is that a weekday or is that a weekend? And that's why this relationship left. And this person, I'm telling you, tried really hard several times, if not more times than, and they prayed and they said they didn't want to walk away. It took a long time for your ex to walk away. They really did try, and they hung around because they knew the quality of life that they wanted you to see yourself more than they wanted to see you lose your life, especially if you have kids, right? Someone wanted you to see the value in yourself. And like I said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink until they realize themselves that, you know, the cycle has to end. And it was not ending. Hence the world's reversed. Because you had really not come to, terms with it being a problem, right? Yes. So, you know, people move on, people go away, and some of you Leos really have felt very victorious because you conquered, and that did enable you to become not being an enabler. Your person was not an enabler, but they did try to help you. So it's not like they would say, you can't, you know, just how much is too much? You know what I mean? And time again, it fell by the wayside. This person just couldn't see how a life spent being numb or trying to numb your feelings, how does that work? It's difficult for someone who's observing an addiction or addictive behavior in others when they're not, let's say that's not their cup of tea, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be at a party and not want to, if you drink, or if you're an alcoholic, not to want to drink. So what happens? Do you go to the party? So time and time again, it's just a reminiscent of how happy that you have been with someone, and you are the introspection of, you are going deep within, and you may have reached out to this person to want to just have a light convo. I don't know, something may have stirred up a memory, especially with the planets the way they are. So Mercury and Venus retrograde brings up the past in ways that sometimes still hurt. Not that you want them back or they want you back. Just if you're in good standing with your ex, you know, and they called you off the cuff, let's just say, because they had this beautiful memory, let's just say, off the cuff, that they went to, I don't know, a place where you used to go to together, and it reminded them of you, or that reminded you of them. So you pick up the phone or you text and say, wow, you have a great convo, you're laughing, that connection was really like great. And then it, you know, the reality after that comes as, wow, you know, that person really broke my heart, but now I realize that what I've been through Is it all worth it? Absolutely. You can't say it's not worth it. I went through the whole deck. But the story unfolded so perfectly that, you know, you can't deny yourself what your heart wants, and the losses right now for everyone across the board is going to show up in a different way. And if you can just observe your heart and heal and be on the mend, right? I mean, that's all you can do. Be on the mend. See? It is all about being in a place of what feels like home. And that's what you've been observing. In your life, everything, Leos, that you are putting in your life now has to feel like home. Those people that have come and gone in your life that you still are very near and dear to your heart and will always be, that now is something that that's the bridge that you had to cross. And sometimes those memories come back for reasons of reminding yourself of the time that you've put in, but also how far you've come. And how much stronger that you have become. Loving yourself and believing in yourself, and now observing life with a whole new lens. And realizing that a lot of what you denied yourself, was of being really happy. But it wasn't for lack of trying. So now some of you are single, out there, you know, and grateful for what you have, making your job right now a priority, making your money a priority. Investing in you actually is the priority. And if it comes with some pain, right? Nothing is worthy of us other than the pain that we have felt, and what people, places, and things are no longer part of the old trajectory. And it all does base upon unrequited love of self. Just saying. You had to cut those ties. And I'm not saying, like I said, I feel like some of you take 3 steps forward or 2 steps forward only to take 3 steps back. And that's going to happen. But the good news is that now you're able to see it. Whereas before you were unable to see it and or denied there was even an issue or problem. Wow, look at how beautiful. So if you are even focusing on being like in your work sector, like work is your focal point right now, because it takes you away from this. It takes you away from wanting to sit home and have a cocktail. Work, business, researching, launching, doing your work, being really happy with what you do for a living is where you're headed now in the observations of how far you've come. Is I'm focusing on me, and I'm going to keep that going. Masculine and feminine balance, whereas before, look, that was the imbalance. And that's why we do these monthlies, seriously, because it unfolds so beautifully. It's not like a general, it is a general, but it's not the same as, a weekly. Look at that. Really getting into the feeling of what it's like to absolutely value yourself, and how that changes you, and how it has changed you. It has changed you. Some of you, you're on a new, like, not just the drinking thing. Maybe some of you, it was like eating junk food, or, I mean, I know Lent is here, or some of you who observe, but honestly, it could be with or without Lent, and Easter coming up for those observing. Doesn't matter. It's like, I want to be healthy, because health is wealth. And that is another observation that you have made. You've had enough time for your masculine and feminine side to be feeling sorry for yourself, wondering if you could ever just get up and walk away from all the things that weren't working, all of those, like I said, people, places, and things. It's a plethora of things in our lives that comes to light. It comes to the surface to be seen. It has to be seen. Otherwise, how can we change? And how can we value ourselves? You have had at least one lifetime where you were not valued, whether it was a spouse or it's you here standing front and center saying, wow. And now you're observing your life with, like I said, with a new lens. You've come a long way to, first of all, to ever get back into, let's say, an abusive relationship. You've come way too far to fall back, and eat junk. Or even if you're a social drinker now, let's just say you haven't needed to go to rehab and it was just socially drinking for business, you don't need to have that last drink to get drunk or something like that. You've changed. And now you see yourself truly in a whole nother light. And so do others. Others have come to say, wow, Leos are not the same as they used to be. Right? Because it's obvious. But not obvious as Ozempic. I don't know why I said that. I don't know. So, don't overthink. Truly, don't overthink if people are around you and they're whispering, because you're healing. Truly, you are doing a great job. So, you're on the mend, my friends. That's funny. At least one Leo out there probably can relate with that Ozempic. So much of that, like, you can't even imagine that was even going around. Seriously. Look at that. It is taking every ounce of your strength as the lion who is getting back their strength and vigilance to be the person that you were meant to be. And this is severing your past life ties as well. Once you do this, you're not only severing this love that you didn't have for yourself from another lifetime, but you're severing, like, your ancestral lineage of the same. All right. I love you guys. Have a great month. Let me know. Oh my God. Let me know. Also, please like, share, and or subscribe, because somehow the YouTube and all the readers, we all feel the same way about the algorithms being all fucked up. Anyway, I love you guys. Take care.